pickles ruin everything. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm your anti-narcissist host, Kira, and this is Psychopath Exposure. I received an email this week with a question that is quite common and something I used to struggle with myself, so I decided to take the opportunity to just reply to the email through a video instead. I'm going to keep this one anonymous because they didn't want their identity revealed. But they go, I do have a question for you, if it's not too much to ask. But how common is it for someone to have a strong fear of ending up with another psychopath? Either I'm just paranoid that the person I'm dating could be one, or they actually are one. And then that leads me to the question of how common is it to date yet another psychopath? Again, I'm not sure if my current partner is one and could possibly be a narcissist in the least, but I just have this constant fear. So thanks for sending that in. I can totally empathize with you there. Look, we get very, very hypervigilant when we're coming out of an entanglement with a psychopath or with a narcissist. It takes a long time to heal from this trauma. I personally feel that this trauma stays with you for the rest of your life, but we can reframe it, we can reshape it, we can give it a new purpose in our life, so it's not in the forefront, it's not dominating our life. Our life is not being run by fear and trauma, but it will always be a part of us. So I do feel that when you go back into the dating game, you're always gonna have that little worry. You're always gonna keep your eyes open, especially at the beginning, when everything seems to be going smoothly and you're saying to yourself, hey, you know what? Maybe this is the right one. Maybe this won't be another nightmare. Maybe this is finally the time in my life where I'm finally gonna meet someone that's decent and that's honest. And just that thought in and of itself, considering that you probably were having those thoughts the last time, may trigger some fear, some unwanted apprehension moving forward in that relationship. And that's totally normal. Look, let me just give you a silly example, but I mean, if you were to go out into the subway, into the train or whatever, and you walk in and you get punched in the mouth, next time you take the train, you're probably gonna, your brain is gonna be like, oh shit, am I gonna get punched in the mouth today? Because that's like a shocker, right? That's not just something small that gets dismissed and you forget about. That's like a traumatic, shocking experience, walking into a train and bam, just getting belted in the face. You didn't even see it coming, like a sucker punch, right? So just imagine that, or imagine ordering, I don't know, some fast food, and you hate pickles, and you tell them, hey, no pickles on my burger. And you get home, you open your burger, and you take a bite into it, and you bite right into a pickle. That's actually a true story, and I don't mean to simplify the situation, just trying to crack a little humor, a little unsolicited humor. But that did happen to me when I was a kid. I just bit right into the burger. I had a pickle coming out of my mouth. And so I can never eat a burger without checking first. I have to open it up and make sure that they didn't stick one in there, because pickles ruin everything. But yeah, I'm just being facetious, but honestly, that's really what happens when you go through a shocking, traumatic experience. Perfectly normal to be apprehensive and to be afraid that the next time you get into something like that, hey, what if this is another one? What if this one's more covert, right? And then instead of showing me their true colors within the first 6 months to a year, what if it takes 5 years and then I'm really locked in, and then they pull that card, right? So it's perfectly normal, but just because it's normal doesn't mean that you have to live with this fear. And at least in my experience, before I went back into the dating game, I had strong fear, very strong fear, and it's because my brain only knew what it had experienced last. It hadn't been given an opportunity to experience a safe entanglement, romantic relationship, whatever you want to call it, partnership, whatever. It it hadn't experienced a situation where I was safe. All it knew was what had happened before. So the thought of going back out there and dating and meeting someone new was just too scary to even entertain at the beginning. And that's why I advise most everyone, don't start dating right away. It's way too soon. And I know they say that the minute you're dating someone new, it does help, and that is true, because you're getting your needs met. You have someone that's clearly interested in you. It is helpful, but at the beginning, it could be a double-edged sword. It could backfire. It could pretty much lead you to another toxic person right away. Because remember, you're very, very vulnerable, and you're hurt, and you're broken, and all sorts of uneasy. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's very, very hard for you to just trust someone right away. So imagine if you're not able to trust, you don't know what's going on, you still haven't healed from this situation, you're broken, you're vulnerable, you're torn inside, right? You're torn apart. And then you meet someone new, and it's like the human side just wants to gravitate towards someone that will hold you and love you and be there for you, because that's what you need. You lacked. You were starved of affection, of nurturing. You were starved of all those warm feelings of love for such a long time with your psychopath or narcissist ex, that you gravitate towards just the first person out there that's willing to offer you something like that. Even if they're a criminal, even if they're an addict, even if they're coming out of a psychopath marriage themselves. For some reason, at the beginning, if you date too soon, you put your blinders on and you just gravitate towards that person. You're like, oh, you're broken too. You're the only one that understands me. And you know what happens with that? You don't even know what you just got yourself into. This person may be even crazier than the first one. And I hate to use the word crazy, because I don't believe psychopaths are crazy at all. But it's a crazy situation, just for a figure of speech. I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say, although some of you won't, and you'll let me have it, and that's fine, and I'll ignore it. But yeah, try not to beat yourself too much about that, and start trusting your intuition. Start trusting what you've learned from this situation. If you're in fear that your current partner is also a psychopath narcissist, and they're showing you signs, and there's clear red flags, and they're starting to abuse you, and they're starting to gaslight you, and you feel that what they're saying is not true, and their actions don't line up with their words, then what the heck are you still doing in that relationship? Have you not learned your lesson? And that goes to everyone, including myself. We go through something, and if we don't learn our lessons, right, we're going to suffer the consequences. So, I mean, I'm just reading your email. I'm just going by what you say, and you have a strong fear that this person may be one. You're not sure, but you fear that they are. Well, let's look at that fear. Is it just complete paranoia? Are they saints and you're just creating things out of your own trauma? Because that's a totally different story. That's a totally different story. And if you jumped into a relationship quick, if you didn't take at least 12 months to heal, to be by yourself, to sit in those feelings, to sit and understand that, hey, I was duped by a scammer, by a con artist, I got screwed, my mental health has declined, I've got trauma, I have anxiety disorders now, PTSD, panic attack, all that shit, at the expense of a psychopath ex. If you didn't take time to heal and learn how to love yourself and learn how to be okay by yourself and to rebuild your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, if you did not do that and you jumped into another relationship within a few months, then you know what? It's perfectly understandable why you're in such fear, because you haven't taken the time to regain your strength. You know how monks will go and they'll meditate on a hill or on a mountain. They'll go away from the town and they'll be there for months by themselves, just sitting, meditating, just being still with their thoughts, not away from society. They do that because in a way that's how they regain their spirit and their energy. So when they return home, they know how to instinctively handle and take out, problems that they may be experiencing, whether it's, home life or the community, whatever it is. But that's why it's very important to take time out. And time out, I'm not even talking about taking time out like 20 minutes a day to meditate or get still. That's different. We should be doing that. I'm talking about taking a long period of time away from dating. Taking time out for yourself and saying, hey, you know what? This year, I'm dedicating this year to myself. I've been through a lot of shit. I've been betrayed, right? I've been cheated on. I've been manipulated. I was triangulated with new supply. I was abused. No more of that shit. No more of that shit. This year is for me. You think you guys can do that? Take 1 year for yourself and travel, work on your business, try to get a promotion at your job, get your health in order, get your fitness in order, get your finances in order, get your home in order, your living conditions, improve the quality of your life, discover who you really are as a person. Who really are? Who really are you? Does that make sense? Who really are you? That sounds retarded. But what's your moral code? Do you even know? What's acceptable? What's not acceptable? What boundaries do you have? What type of people do you allow into your social circle? And what type of people can you just not hang out with because you just don't see eye to eye? And while it's okay to have differences of opinion, and you definitely don't want to live or have people where you're in an echo chamber, there's some people that just don't mesh well with you, and their views are too radical for your views, and their lifestyle is too fast for you, and that's okay. You don't need to spend time with those people. Are you able and willing to cut people like that out of your life? Before you even think about entertaining another romantic entanglement or relationship or marriage even, you need to take time out for yourself for a long time to actually heal, to know that, hey, I'm okay by myself. I'm okay by myself. And as a byproduct, if I meet someone that's fucking awesome and things go well and that organically turns into a relationship, organically, maybe you guys want to live together organically, maybe. If you believe in marriage, you want to tie the knot and take that risk, then cool. And if it falls apart, cool. You'll be okay anyway. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. Because a lot of times, when we got into a relationship with a psychopath or the narcissist, we felt like we weren't complete. We felt like we were missing something. And we found that missing something in the psychopath or in the narcissist that mirrored back everything that we wanted. They learned everything that we liked. They mirrored that. They became that. They love bombed us. And then their mask fell off. And we saw them for who they really were. They went on. They're doing the same shit. They groomed someone else in the meantime because they were afraid of whatever they were afraid of. Maybe they were afraid of abandonment, so they had to abandon you first, right? So they had backup plans. They groomed someone else in the meantime just in case. And the minute you started like becoming a challenge to them and you started complaining that, hey, you're being abusive, this is unacceptable, the minute you just raised your voice just a little bit to stand up for yourself, they were ass out and they just discarded you, right? They're out there doing their thing. They're going to keep doing that. That's what they do. It's not your problem anymore. That's not your problem anymore. But can you be okay by yourself? Can you be okay? Can you live a great life without a partner? Can you do that? If you can, then nothing can hurt you. Because if you meet someone and it's cool, it's great. And if they go away or if it doesn't work out, yeah, it'll suck temporarily, but you're not going to die. You're not going to be like, oh shit, my life stinks now. Everything sucks. Because that's the way the narcissist left us, right? When the narcissist discarded us, what happened to us? We couldn't do anything. Everything had lost its color. The zest for life was gone. We had no desire to wake up. We had no desire to go to sleep. unless we were sleeping to ease the depression. We had no appetite, didn't want to work on any project, didn't want to do anything for fun because we didn't know what fun was anymore. Doesn't that suck? So yeah, if you constantly live in a state of fear that the new person that you're going to date is going to be another psychopath, the reason you're in fear is not only the possibility that you may be abused again, that you may be in some crazy relationship moving forward, but you're also afraid of when that psychopathic relationship ends, that you're going to be back into that rotten hell that you were when you were a vegetable, when you didn't know what fun and life, what fun and joy and happiness was anymore, when you felt like you would never know, or you would never even experience happiness again for the rest of your life. You're afraid to go back to that place, that dark place that took you such a long time to crawl out of. You're afraid of going back there. But let me tell you, if you actually did the work, if you actually healed from this, you wouldn't have this worry. You wouldn't have this worry because you would know that even if you do end up with another psychopath, even if the psychopath is worse, you'll know for a fact that you're not going to stand for it. You know for a fact that the minute they cross you, the minute they betray you, if they cheat on you again, whatever, the minute that happens, you're going to terminate that relationship. You're going to terminate it. You're not going to sit there and take that shit for 10 or 20 years like you did the first time. That's not going to happen anymore. But the only way you can know that for sure is to do the work. To spend time by yourself and to heal, to regain your strength, your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth. To live out your purpose. To live out your purpose. And just know, hey, if this is another psychopath narcissist, it's time to get rid of them. It's time to get rid of them. What the hell are you doing? You want to go through this merry-go-round all over again? Nay, nay. Nay, nay. So I hope this makes sense. And if you'd like to work directly with me, I do have a coaching program where we go through things like this. We go through these situations. And I hope you guys realize and understand what is it that's going on and why you're putting up with it. Okay? Because when you don't know what you're dealing with, when you don't know the game plan of the psychopaths or the narcissists, you try to double down, you try to triple down on saving that relationship, right? We have to work on this relationship. That's the one. I'm going to fight for my man. I'm going to fight for my woman, right? But once you know what this really is, okay? Once you know what this really is, you have to make an exit strategy to get the hell out. You have to terminate this shit. You have to. I can show you how. I know it's not easy, but I can show you how. I did it. I've worked with hundreds of people, helped them out of this nightmare, because this is a perpetual nightmare. This repeats, and repeats. And unfortunately, every time you go around, it gets worse. That's the craziest part of this whole thing. It always gets worse. It's not one of those things where it's like you're working at it and you're working at it and then you finally start seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. You finally start seeing, hey, wow, the relationship's actually getting better. My partner has changed. They're actually good now. They pay attention to me. They're honest now. They don't gaslight me anymore. There isn't another person. There isn't another supply. They're constantly they're not showing inconsistencies in their personality. Their actions meet their words. That's not how this works. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you worked on the relationship with a narcissist or with a psychopath and it actually got better and it got better and you got to a point that you guys are just badass, the two of you, and you're there for each other, 100% trust both ways, 100% honesty, right? The intimacy is amazing. It's never going to stop. It's never going to change. The love bombing doesn't stop, right? Can you imagine? It would be like utopia, right? But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So if you'd like more details on my coaching program, how you can work one-on-one with me, click on the link below in the description and I'll send you details. And also, if you haven't already downloaded my free ebook, go ahead and do that. It's the 5 steps of going no contact with a psychopath narcissist. And it shows you everything that you need to do to build boundaries with hopefully what is your narcissist ex, not your current partner, but hopefully they're your ex by now or about to be. Okay, and it'll show you exactly what you need to do, how to block these people, how to make sure that they don't weasel their way back into your life and ruin the work that you've done. All right, so that's all I got for you guys today. Big shout out to all the members of the community. I really appreciate you guys. If you'd like to join and be a part of the anti-narcissist psychopath exposure army, just click the join button below. And well, I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Hope you got some value if you did drop a like. And as always, please subscribe and click on the little bell icon so that you can get a notification on your phone when I drop a new video. Stay strong, guys. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Do not take the narcissist back. Do not answer their calls. Do not entertain their Hoover attempts. Do not even listen to their voicemails. Don't read the emails. Don't do it to yourself. If you're out, stay out and keep them out. All right? Love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video. My name is Kira. That's Kira. And this is Psychopath Exposure. Peace out.